City identifies 2 officers, 1 paramedic killed in Burnsville, Minnesota, suspect also dead. Burnsville, Minn. 2 police officers and a paramedic were shot and killed in a Twin Cities suburb Sunday morning, authorities said, and the man who shot them is also dead. Superintendent Drew Evans with the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension said Burnsville police officers were called to a home at about 1:50 a.m. on 33rd Avenue South and East 126th Street, just west of the Interstate 35 East, Highway 77 interchange. A suspect inside was reported to be armed, and several people were barricaded inside, including 7 young children ranging in age from 2 to 15. Related. Who were the officers and paramedic fatally shot in Burnsville? Evans said law enforcement spent quite a bit of time negotiating with this individual, and paramedics came in for backup at about 5 a.m. Minutes later, dispatch ordered everyone to stay back after the suspect opened fire. Burnsville city officials identified the victims as officers Paul Elmstrand and Matthew Rouge and firefighter, paramedic Adam Finseth. Sergeant Adam Medlicott with BPD was also shot but is expected to survive. The suspect, who has not been identified, was reported dead at about 8 a.m., and the family members in the home made it out safely a short time later. Evans said details surrounding the timing and exchange of gunfire are not clear at this point in the investigation. Several officers did return fire, Evans said. I will note this individual had several guns and large amounts of ammunition. City officials said. 27-year-old Elmstrand joined the Burnsville Police Department in 2017 and was promoted in 2019. Rouge, also 27, joined the force in 2020. Finseth, 40, has been a firefighter and SWAT paramedic in the city since 2019. Fire Chief B.J. Jungmann says Finseth previously worked with the fire departments in Savage and Hastings. Medlicott has been with BPD for 9 years and 5 months. Police Chief Tanya Schwartz says her department is hurting. Today, 3 members of our team made the ultimate sacrifice for this community. They are heroes, Schwartz said. Every day we pray that they go home to their families. And today that's not happening. We're heartbroken. We are going to need time to be together. Our families need time to grieve. Jungmann says Sunday was the toughest day the city has ever experienced. It's a tragic day, we're all grieving, and we're all trying to understand what happened and why, Jungmann said. Read more. 5 Minnesota law enforcement members have been fatally shot in line of duty since 2015. Jason Skoggs said he started to see a large police and SWAT presence in the neighborhood at about 2 a.m., but said things escalated around 5 a.m. I heard a loud explosion, which I chalked up right away to a motor going off, like a firework. But then like a minute later I heard another one, followed shortly thereafter by a series of gunfire, really rapid, Skoggs said. Then I knew right away that something bad was taking place. Skoggs didn't know exactly where the shooting was coming from, but he knew it was close to his home. Shortly thereafter, we got a phone call from the police department to shelter in place. Go to your basement and shelter in place, Skoggs said. Dylan Folene also lives in this neighborhood. The father of 2 is shaken by what happened, especially after learning that a family was barricaded in the home at the time of the shooting. This is a tragedy, and I have to now explain to my daughter what happened today, and it's just the thought of those kids. That's what really hits home to me, and my heart goes out to the families of the responders, Folene said. Sean Flynn lives around the corner. Definitely some extra hugs and cuddles this morning with my boys and wife, Flynn said. Thankful that something like that hasn't happened in our life and it hopefully never will. It's also a stark reminder that you never know. You wake up Sunday morning and everything has gone sideways. At Hennepin Healthcare in downtown Minneapolis, police and first responders from multiple cities gathered to show support Sunday afternoon. Injured officers are often taken to the hospital due to its status as a Level 1 trauma center. Related. Hundreds lined Twin Cities streets to honor 3 Burnsville first responders killed in line of duty. Their caskets, draped in American flags, were carried into vans outside the hospital as a crowd of law enforcement stood to salute them. Doctors, nurses and other hospital staff lined up in the skyway to see them off. Police, fire and paramedic vehicles stayed close as the vans departed downtown. When they reached the medical examiner's office, the escort didn't end at the entrance. The group walked in alongside the fallen first responders so they were never alone. Support and condolences from Minnesota state leaders and other law enforcement agencies are pouring in on social media. We must never take for granted the bravery and sacrifices our first responders make each and every day, Walz said in a statement. Today, the families of these public servants received the call they knew was possible but hoped would never come. My heart is with those grieving families. The state of Minnesota stands ready to support in any way we can. This is a tragic loss for our state. Walz ordered flags be flown at half-staff starting Monday at sunrise. Dozens gathered outside Burnsville City Hall Sunday evening to remember and pay respects to the fallen first responders. Burnsville City Manager Greg Lindberg thanked the community for its support and grace. It's been an emotional day. It's been a hard day, Lindberg said. I have the distinct privilege of working alongside the men and women of our police department and our fire department who choose to come to work every day and risk their lives to the benefit of all of us. Senator Amy Klobuchar and Representative Angie Craig were also on hand to pay their respects. I can't imagine the pain that you're all going through. I just can't imagine, Craig said. But what I want to say is to all of our officers out there, to all of our paramedics, our fire department, thank you for what you do. Police from cities across the metro showed solidarity, a part of a grieving community that reaches far beyond Burnsville. Sunday's shooting marks the 9th time since June that first responders have been killed or hurt by gunfire in Minnesota or surrounding communities. The Officer Down Memorial page says a total of 18 officers nationwide have been killed in the line of duty so far this year, with 4 of them by gunfire.